Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Deadfire with me, Break It Down. Let's speak to Henrik.
Here you find civilization, amigo. But outside these walls, the jungle will eat you alive. That is, unless you prepare yourself, ne?
Show me what you have for sale.
A wise and prudent decision.
Here we go. Essence Interrupter, Hunting Bow two-handed. Additional effects, plus 5 accuracy, minus 10 deflection against melee weapons. It's exceptional. That gives it plus 30% damage, plus 8 accuracy, and plus 2 penetration. Experimental Souls. Critical hits with this weapon transfer experimental soul energy into the target, morphing them into a sentient creature when the target dies. And charge copper deals best of pierce or shock. Critics of soul manipulation disparage animancy as a reckless perversion of the natural order. While these arguments are often steeped in political animus, every once in a while they hit the mark. Such is the case with the Essence Interrupter, the product of an ambitious but unorthodox outcast of the Brackenbury Sanitarium. The inventor hypothesized a surefire method to awaken Kith souls by applying an instant jolt of spiritual stimulus to the cranium. Once he modified a hunting bow to unleash projectiles of charged Adra and copper, he set up a market stall in Sperento, where he promised compensation to anyone who participated in his study. After calmly shooting arrows between the eyes of 2 test subjects, the Animancer was taken into custody. Authorities never recovered his bow, which to this day reflects something of its inventor's unethical eccentricity. That's hilarious. Alright, Shattered Vengeance, Club one-handed. Additional effects, plus 5 accuracy, also exceptional. And Shards of Woedica. 33% chance to apply a stacking curse on the target, increasing their damage received. This club originates from the little-known sacking of Mungo Waikinga, an obscure Rohatayan village. The villagers were taken by complete surprise when a band of slavers descended on them. The slavers quickly overwhelmed the few guards and set to work rounding up the terrified people and killing those too old, too young, or too weak to fetch a good price at auction. One teenage girl, Lula Ko, was not about to allow the villains to harm her infant brother or enfeebled grandmother. Resolved not to surrender without a fight, she broke into the chapel of Woedica in the village common and plucked a torch from above the altar. She dipped it in pitch and smashed the priest's reflecting mirror, creating a club crowned in jagged glass. She prayed forgiveness from Woedica for her sacrilege and went out to confront the slavers. The girl's boldness surprised the slaver captain. He was only able to laugh before Lula Ko killed him with a single blow to his head. The villagers, inspired by Lula Ko's bravery, revolted against their captors, winning the day against all odds. The people of Mungo Waikinga forever honored the warrior child, as she and her sacred weapon were surely blessed by Woedica. And then Physicker's Belt. Healer's Touch, plus 10% healing done, plus 1 alchemy. Apart from holding up one's trousers, that's a general description. But this would be good for my paladin. Once I get lay on hands, of course.
I've got it.
The wagon holds only a few boxes and scattered garments.
Accept the light, and you shall be redeemed.
A woman shouts, arms raised high and wide. In each hand she grips a golden candle. The flames gutter wildly as she gestures to the crowd before her. The missionary holds a candle to drip wax in the shape of 3 stars on the forehead of each kneeling worshipper. One of them stumbles back, flapping the hot wax from his skin.
Se futito! Madicchio! I did not sign up to be burned!
Watch from within the crowd. The priestess trembles her arms, face pinched with disappointment, and the warm sea breeze from the port, loose strands of her sun-streaked hair whip about her head like a living halo.
This flame is not for purification. It is for illuminating the darkness. Sanctification comes only as a result of your journey. But the light will guide your way.
Was that just coincidence that the sun came out as she said that? She tilts her face toward the sky. Eyes shut, she drags a shaky hand to dribble wax across her own brow.
Aethys has returned at last, but it's not too late to redeem ourselves.
As surely as my fingers are webbed, I tell you, gone, never left.
Despite her contrary words, the Huana woman shrugs, accepting the golden wax.
Sakes alive, Wanglith. Ain't we got more pressing matters to attend to than a baptism?
Arms crossed over her chest, a shorter, duskier woman watches the ritual with an ornery sort of expression. Her delicate chin jutted up.
We just missed one of the biggest reapings of all time. What about the souls that need us?
As she steps forward, she reaches for a peculiar-looking lantern strapped to her hip.
Do not push me on this, you wayward child. You'd leave the living forlorn to service the dead?
Rather than discouraging the other Dawnstar, the accusation seems to kindle a stubbornness inside her. Shoulders set, she grins.
Here, I'll light them all at once.
Metal clanking, she sways an eerily lit lantern in an intricate pattern before her. The priestess bites her lip, swinging harder and faster, lithe arms hurtling the weapon with a deceptively hidden strength, until she thrusts it hard out toward the crowd, splattering everyone with wax. Wipe a glob of wax from your shoulder.
Now that we're right with our God, can we please see about helping the people I dreamed died? Those souls ain't gonna reap themselves.
Her words catch in her throat as she turns, spotting you for the first time.
I'm guessing you're not here for the baptism.
What happened here?
It's madness, right? Who'd have thought a giant green statue might storm through the port?
At the memory, her pupils gobble up the warm brown of her eyes, and the remaining darkness gleams wickedly.
I did. I dreamed it for months, again and again and night and day, until I pushed the others to come here. We told the governor, but he wouldn't evacuate on account of me, not knowing exactly when our god might arrive.
No one believed it. But how could we know?
The woman wrings her hands before wiping trembling, wax-smeared fingers down the sides of her robe. You have a lot of prophetic dreams.
Nightmares, more like. Terrors that come true.
She rubs a palm over the back of her neck.
Had 'em since I was a little girl on the farm. Guess Gone was speaking to me even then.
Some of our brethren suffer from these visions more than others, while some of us, favorably, have none at all.
It ain't a curse. It's a blessing. A mark of the divine.
Zoti shrugs. Do you know where I can find the governor?
I surely do. I already asked him to let me inland, on account of my dreams that came true. But he's not giving out the location of the archipelago. You think he'd tell you?
You're not permitted, child, because it's too dangerous. But you never listen.
Yet I hear you all the time, Wanglith.
She grimaces, baring her teeth.
Gone's been calling me here. Left the breadcrumbs in my dreams. I need to get inland. If you're going, I could help you. Swear on my soul.
Oh, she's a companion. Why do you want to go inland?
There are souls needing their last rites. I ought to shine them the light, else they might get lost.
Interesting. Is that going to conflict with my current objective?
Enough nonsense, Zoti. No one knows if anyone's even died. You've no business going in there, risking your own safety, risking our mission.
Wanglith, you guide the living and I guide the dead. Gone bids it and I dreamed it. Leave it be. We all serve our purposes. So what's yours?
Yeah, I'm not going to let my chase or pursuit of Eothas define me. I am a watcher.
So you can see souls? That's a handy talent to have. I know my harvesting would benefit from it. If you're looking to talk to the governor, I might guess you're thinking to go inland. If so...
She jiggles her lantern in a nervous gesture.
Watcher, will you take me with you?
Yeah, we have to look out for the crew. We only have so many supplies, right? Say I let you join me. How would that benefit me and mine?
Reckon I'm good with wounds, both inflicting and healing them up.
She jiggles her lantern, beaming you a dark-edged grin.
Me and my brethren may not see eye to eye, but they'll all admit I'm sturdier than a weed and just as stubborn. I won't die on you before it's my time.
You sure you can handle a fight? She raises the sickle for your inspection. The blade is well worn with half-edged backside for added lethality, but its sleek metal is also meticulously clean.
Sure can. I reaped my first soul when I wasn't yet 12 years old. Plus, gruesome doesn't bother me.
Guess her skills had something, I suppose.
Adair has busied himself with scraping something off the side of his weapon. Does not look up. Is he doing it because he's embarrassed that her weapon is so clean?
Sounds like a vote of confidence to me.
Zoti beams happily.
Well, what's it to be?
A fine proposition. I'd enjoy the company of a priestess.
I know an offer rare as hen's teeth when I hear it. Yeah, I'm taking it.
She beams brightly.
You won't regret this.
She steals a shy glance at Adair. Hey Adair, you've got a fan.
Hey.
Adair half nods without looking in Zoti's direction. He seems suddenly focused on something in the distance. A tad too eagerly, she saunters close beside you.
At least take care, child. Come back to us in one piece. If not for my sake, then Samhain's.
The older priestess sighs, shaking her head.
So don't tell her. What the High Priestess doesn't know won't hurt her.
Grinning, Zoti waves her brethren a curt parting. See, I don't know if I want to multi-class a priest. Yeah, let's preview the ability tree. Okay, let's look at the monk tree and determine if it's worth even going monk. I didn't really care for it in the first game. I mean, there's some nice things to have, and they do put out a lot of DPS, but that's not what she's here for. She's here for priest purposes. So I think I'm going to keep her as a single class. I just don't see us benefiting greatly from monk. So yeah, we'll keep her as a priest. Alright, let's see what she has starting out. The fighting spirit because she's human. How do I look at... Should be here. Okay. Just interfering strikes. So attacks target when scoring a hit with an attack. Minus 10 accuracy for 12 seconds. And minus 25% damage with hatchet weapons. Hook and slash wildly with your attacks, interfering with your enemy's ability to focus their aim at the cost of damage. A binding block. Well, let's see what she has equipped first. Let's do that. Alright, so Zoti's sickle. Deflector, plus 3 deflection against melee weapons, and Soul Reaper, plus 5% sickle damage until combat ends on scoring kill, stacks 4 times. Increases with religion skill. Good to know. The sickle was originally forged as a cheap farming implement, but in Zoti's hands it is a potent weapon. The aspect of Eothas known as Gon is often depicted carrying a sickle with which he reaps what is sown in life, carrying out the cycle of death and rebirth. In service of Gon, Zoti carries a similar tool, emulating the holy act of reaping. The sickle, while outwardly ordinary, has inherited power from Zoti's strong faith. In Zoti's Lantern, Deflection 4, Shield engagement plus 1 enemies engaged, Lantern's Light. I think this also has, right? Or Torch Flame. Holy Radiance, plus 2 all restoration power levels, plus 2 all inspiration power levels. And Soulkeeper, plus 1 of each monk resource per kill. Alright, so that's where the monk part comes in. This lantern contains a mantle of Audra at its core. In her service to Gon, Zoti has worked tirelessly to collect souls within the mantle, so they be safeguarded until Eothas returns to Hell once more, to oversee the process of death and rebirth. The lantern is well constructed and quite durable. Zoti wields it in the manner of a small shield, it offers reasonable protection. Cool. And she has second wind as well, so she has points in athletics. Alchemy. Yeah, we'll definitely focus on religion with her just for the added benefit with the sickle. She has Harvester of Gon. An aspect of Eothas, Gon emphasizes the natural ending of mortal life. He is most often portrayed as a farmer with a lantern and sickle. Implements his priests utilize in ceremonies and combat. The sickle represents the time of harvest, i.e. the natural end of life, and the lantern represents a light that guides dead souls to the beyond. Has hatchet proficiency, that's okay. Holy Radiance. So friendly AoE, plus 25.5 health restored. Foe AoE, interrupt, and 20.7 burn damage for 3 seconds for 4.1 seconds. Also applies Shaken. Creates a field of holy energy around the priest, dealing burn damage and applying Shaken to any vessels in the vicinity, while regenerating a modest amount of health for allies. The power of a priest's holy radiance is modified by how well their reputations align with the preferred behaviors of their faith. Which my reputation shouldn't... I should be able to impact hers, right? Alright, we have Blessed Harvest. Target interrupt 127.2 slash damage. Seems a little absurd. And this is the one that increases as they're closer to death. Reap an enemy in the name of Gon. If the enemy is bloodied or near death, they will receive significantly more damage from Blessed Harvest. Interdiction. Foe AoE, daze for 8.4 seconds. Condemns the priest's foes, dazing any enemies in the area of effect. And Restore. Friendly AoE, 36.6 health restored. Shares a generous portion of the caster's divine strength, restoring a significant amount of health to all allies in the area of effect. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and give her Gon's Pledge.
Think it suits me? Happy to oblige.
Alright, so what do these do? So blinding, or binding block. Already read that. Okay. She also has proficiency with crossbow, so I'll go ahead and keep this in her offhand. Yeah, we'll do something like that.
Yeah, I hear you. What can I do you for?
The children of the Dawnstars. I wondered if we'd run into them down here. There's someone I used to know. Just an old friend. Came out here to settle with them last I heard. Maybe we should ask around, see if she's still out here. Might be she can help us.
Just a friend, huh?
Zoti rubs the back of her neck, clearly uncomfortable. How did you know her?
Oh, well, both grew up in Gilded Vale, same temple.
Adair looks askance at you. I feel like stare at Adair should be stoic. Yeah, your cheeks are turning red. Or sorry, your cheeks are red.
All right.
Yeah, no. Oh, I didn't mean
All
to put
right.
that.
We used to, you know. She was real loud, too. Used to have to cover her mouth or she'd get the dog howling in the next room.
Poor Zoti. Zoti's face models bright red. She turns away, hands covering her eyes. Yeah, I get the picture.
I knew you'd understand. You're gonna like her. I got a good feeling.
Yeah. Probably not for the same reason you like her. Alright, let's go speak to Wenglith again.
You watch over her, you hear? That's one of ours whose fate you've taken into your hands.
I will.
For God's sake, I don't need Nanny and Wanglith. I've reaped more with my 2 hands than you'll dream in a lifetime.
And you've pride in that?
Head shaking, she turns to you.
Do you see why she needs guarding? You must shield her light. Do not let her lose it or her life. Do you seek a blessing from the light?
We're looking for someone who came out this way years back.
If it's a fellow missionary you seek, then you might talk with Nordegand at the temple in Nekataka. She's been around a while. Knows more of us than most anyone else. Zoti, blessed child, you returned to the flock. What news do you bring us from the High Priestess?
Don't get comfy, 'cause I ain't here to stay. I'm finally doing Gon's will, thanks to the Watcher.
So I now see.
Frowning, the priestess takes her time lighting the one candle and then another.
Do you seek a blessing from the light?
I would like a blessing, yes. The priestess's entire expression brightens, lit by a holy righteousness.
You chose wisely. Endurance is the path to perfection. Hand me your palm.
It's not because I'm a follower of Eothas, but because we know that gods do have some sort of power, and we'll take any sort of blessing we can. Give her your hand.
We'll strengthen your spirit through tribulation.
The woman snatches for your wrist with a fervent strength. Her fingers are cold, unrelenting, and tight, but the candle flame that she presses to your skin is white hot, instantly singeing.
This flame lacks the flicker of guidance, but it will purify both flesh and soul. Let the pain absolve your sins.
Hold your hand over the flame. An acrid smell assaults your nose as smoke curls up from your skin. The pain is a constant jabbing, the tip of the flame needling at your nerves until your fingers begin to shake uncontrollably.
And now for the benediction. What I speak, you repeat after me.
I didn't realize this could be a whole process. I thought she was just gonna put wax on my head.
Godly Redeemer and bringer of light, who shepherds his flock through the labyrinth of hell. Though you currently rest in peace, we remain devoted until the time of your revival. We believe in your coming rebirth, in the restoration of your holy greatness. And we now beseech you.
Keep holding your hand over the flame. The fire continues to eat through flesh and muscle, digging into bone. Adair gives a nod and a wink.
To banish the shadows of the unfaithful and wash away the sins of our past.
Godly Redeemer and Bringer of Light. Without so much as a movement from either of you, the flame suddenly snuffs out. Wenglith nods, rubs a glob of wax into the wound.
Good. The light accepted you for its host. Go and be well. Walk within the light, and you shall not falter.
The flick of her fingers, she splatters you with golden wax. Did I gain anything from that? Nothing popped up. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I do recognize that enchanting is the better martial spell school. But reflexive mirror was what made me decide on illusion. It's just a really cool effect. But I don't see anything new from getting that. Guess it's just traditional with the dare. Alright, so it doesn't... Okay.
Yeah, right.
If I was reading all that correctly or not.
It's not right. I came here on the first ship. Why does an islander get paid the same as I?
They're bigger than you, and they haul cargo without whining about it.
It's not right.
On it.
Not do once around the Kraken's
The
eye.
Juana ought to keep to themselves.
And when the next storm hits,
Doesn't like there's a lot to explore here.
fresh fish!
Race you to the coral.
No
There's the
contact.
jail.
What?
Yeah.
Just because you have webbed fingers and I
We'll go back to the market, make sure we didn't
You are a
miss another
strange
merchant.
man.
Oh, here's Alteria. We'll speak to her next. We enter the jail? Yeah, we can. Okay. We'll start here.
Ado, begging your pardon for the mess, sir. We are still recovering from the storm. We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions for the road, perhaps?
Let me see what you have.
Have a look.
Strange tablet. The stone tablet is wrapped in a rich leather and engraved with a flowing vertical script in a language you've never seen before. Kalakiba Alicia. Tsukyu Yi Segu Nimin Su Kalakiba Sakuki. Tsukyu Yi Segu Salasu. May Yike Mapan Mide Yi Hisyu Sikyu Yi Shudez. Sagakun Ga Litu. Sikyu Yi Sedizu. Kut Kipides Ya Katiki Yi Ni. Yi Te Sahuki Yi Paher Yuki Ragan? Ku Sayi Lu Sada Sged Tehedu Alicia Yi Nimin Ga Susa Ka Madez Kek Sahedu Sakuki Yi Silisiu Ga Ku Sakwi Ma Sabu Litu Yi Sedizu Sipi Ara Yi Gez Retigug Retigug Hug Yuguzi Kade Hehab Le Yakushi Yi Lipisalis Mas Hunazi Managa Muri Susakish Lukek Tanaga Shibesa Le Kedat Lagahak Hugwa Hus Ekelugik Lukiha Mashun Sugawazi Bu Hus Luzu Yeku Suheki Yi Shene Egageg Sidu Sumed Mashun Paki Mashun Pul Hus Shipaher Rasube Hun Hakus Lala Mes Limeku. Sorry, my accent was probably a little off there. Let's go ahead and buy that. I'm assuming that'll come in handy. And there's also Death's Maw. Grants death runes. Being near a killed enemy grants temporary damage reduction. No paladin better personify the ethos of the Bleak Walkers than Hans Elichbert. Sounds like a Bleak Walker. He was a single-minded instrument of violence and the finest cavalry officer among the Bleak Walker companies operating in Deerwood. His superiors utilized Hans and his troop of riders in the way one fires a cannon. Mounted atop powerful war horses and clad in heavy plate, they broke enemy infantry formations with a single pointed charge. Hans's helmet, designed to make him visible to his subordinates through the dust and viscera, became an icon of approaching death for any warrior brave or foolish enough to stand against the Bleak Walkers. When the paladin finally fell in battle, his few surviving enemies cut his head from his shoulders. According to legend, Hans's head continued to bellow from within the helm, ordering his men to press the charge and leave none alive. Dumbfounded, the victors buried Hans's head unceremoniously and left his corpse to the ravens. The helm's travels, however, were not entirely at an end. A battle-worn grimoire. Let's go ahead and buy that, so we have it on hand. Don't know if that's a reference to something or not. Okay, I'm going to call it here. Our next episode, we'll check out the jail. I'm going to explore everything before we go and speak to Governor Clario. To the jail and the Kraken's Eye. And then to the Governor's Estate. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.